Hey, Brad, how you doing?
Hey, good yourself.
Good. You've played a couple of games with Nick on that first power play unit with you. Maybe it made a pretty nifty pass to Berge in the slot in the last game. Does he have kind of a sneaky skill level?
Yeah, I think he does. He seems to be really good down around the net. He's obviously a really big, strong guy and good at recovering pucks. But he seems to be really good at making plays from the goal line. He has good vision, and he's kind of been all around the net and the puck, and he's had a lot of opportunities so far. So I think he's going to be good there.
Thank you.
We'll go next to Joey Mack.
Brother, man, who knows?
Hey, Brad, now that you guys are through training camp and through the first 4 games of the season and now back at home, and I know this has been talked about a little bit, but how much has the dynamic in the room changed now that Z's no longer here and other guys have stepped up?
Yeah, it's definitely different. I mean, Z's such a strong presence on and off the ice, and obviously a big leader. Same with Torrey. He's really close with a lot of guys in the room. He's really vocal and always kind of talking, and that just creates more opportunity for other guys to kind of step up and find a voice, have a bigger presence, and that's how this game works. I mean, guys come and go, and there's always turnover every year. We're used to that. New guys in the room every year, and each year that goes by, more guys get comfortable talking more or having more of a leadership role, and that's kind of where we're at right now. We have younger guys stepping up and being more vocal in the room, and maybe some of those guys that were kind of in the middle now stepping up and being a much bigger leader. So it's early on, but guys are going to find their voice and continue to find their game and be better and step up. And that's unfortunately how guys get an opportunity in this league. Guys get traded or sent down or move on, get hurt, and it opens the door for another guy to come in and kind of build their game and their career. And that's what we're seeing right now.
Emily Benjamin.
Actually, speaking of Zdeno Chara, I know you guys don't see them for another 9 or 10 days, but have you gotten a chance to see him in a Capitals jersey? Have you seen him play at all? And do you have any thoughts on sort of this new chapter that he's undertaking?
I haven't. I kind of canceled my cable, so I haven't been able to really watch hockey, and I haven't really been focusing on other teams, but I have seen a couple clips, and it is weird to see him in a different jersey. I mean, he's obviously been here my entire career, and the last 14 years or 15 years, whatever it's been. It almost seems like that's where he's going to be forever, but. I think it just speaks volumes to his character and who he is, that he's willing to make a change like that. This late in his career, he wants to continue to play, and no matter what that was going to take. So, he's one of the best to ever play for a reason, and he's got that drive and that dedication. And I mean, I'm sure it was a change for him to go to a different group and be part of a different team. And, everything is different for him and what he's used to, but, it gives them an opportunity to play, and obviously they have a good team, so an opportunity to win. So ultimately, at the end of your career, that's what you're looking for, a chance to win and compete and play, and that's in him every single day. So it's going to be weird playing against him, there's no question. But I think it's going to make him compete harder against us. He's going to have something to prove, or he's going to want to make sure he doesn't treat us as friends, he treats us as competitors. But it's not going to change anything off the ice after, and looking forward to seeing him and wish him nothing but the best.
Thanks, Brad.
Thank you.
Fluto Shinzawa.
Brad, question about David Pastrnak as he tries to get back into to shape and form and back on your line. I'm wondering if you look back at the start of his career, he was so young and so yet to develop physically when he first came in. For you, what made you realize, okay, he's going to be David Pastrnak the way he is now? What was there something that kind of turned for him that made you think, okay, this guy is going to be a really good player?
Yeah, I think the first time you saw it, I think it might have been against Philly or Tampa. He scored, I think it might have been an overtime goal or his second goal of the game. He had a 2-goal game, and he went end to end and made an incredible move. And you're able to see his talent level and how gifted he was. But then what kind of impressed me was his work ethic off the ice, how willing he was to learn and to improve off the ice. And I think that's where you lose it in a lot of kids these days. They come in and they think they know everything, and they've been told they're the best from day one, and they think they know it all. Where Pastrnak kind of came in and he knew there was a lot to learn, and he wanted to learn. He wanted to listen to the older guys, and I think that's a big reason why he's as good as he is today, because he's always working hard in the gym and competing, and he wants to win and wants to be good, and takes a lot of pride in that. So I think when you saw his attitude, you knew he was going to be a good player, because he was going to continue to improve. And a lot of guys get that opportunity to come in the league and they're satisfied with where they're at and what they've accomplished. But it can be quick to end if you take it for granted, and that's something that he hasn't done. And I mean, now he's the best goal scorer in the league. So kudos to him. He's done what he's had to do to continue to improve and be a good player. And I'm excited to see what he continues to bring, because it's fun to watch.
Sophia Yerkstovich.
Hey, Brad, the guys yesterday were talking a little bit about being back at the Garden for your home opener. And other than that final line change, which obviously is a big deal, I just wanted to know if you felt without fans, there still is like a home ice advantage. And if so, what is it? Is it the familiarity with the way the puck, the ice, the lighting, the boards? Where do you draw a home ice advantage other than that line change? Thanks.
I think the only advantage maybe we have is being at our own homes. I don't really think there's any advantage to be here other than the last change. I mean, we haven't been here for a year. I mean, yesterday was the first time we skated here in almost a year now, and played in a lot of different rinks, and so it was almost, we have to get used to it again as well. So I mean, it's like any other rink. You go out there, you play, and it's played on the same size ice surface every day, and with no fans, there's no momentum swings other than what you can do within your group. So other than a short drive to the rink and sleep in my own bed, I don't think there's much of a difference.
Okay, thanks. Good luck tonight.
Joe Haggerty.
Hey, Marshy. NHL came out with the announcement, I think it was a couple days ago, saying they were getting rid of the tracking pucks for now because there had been some complaints about the performance of the pucks the first few games. Did you notice anything at all about the pucks being different than they normally are when you were playing?
Yeah, they wouldn't go in the net. I don't know what was going on there.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Yeah, maybe that was just for us, but I mean, it's tough. Maybe the weight felt a little bit different, but I really, I can't say a whole lot about it. I didn't even know they were in there. One of the refs asked me that a couple games ago, and I had no idea they were in there when he asked me. So I really don't have a whole lot to say about it, to be honest. So that's, sorry about it. I should give you more.
That's all right. On a different note, just pretty eye-opening to see the Capitals fined $100,000 for, COVID-19 violations, and see a bunch of guys just hammer home, like, how careful you have to be about everything you guys are doing.
Yeah. I think the big thing is it's more a respect thing. Where we all want to be able to play, and there's rules put in place for a reason. And they're not that hard to follow. So, we all know the consequences of breaking the rules, and we all know what the rules are. So, they brought that on themselves, and, we've all been told very heavily what we're allowed to do and what we're not allowed to do. So, it is what it is on their side of things. But, I think it just comes down to having the respect for one another. You can easily hurt your team by breaking the rules and potentially getting it and having to quarantine. So, it's pretty simple to follow the rules. And, if you get it by chance, it is what it is. It's almost inevitable. But, if you're going to put yourself in a situation, I mean, that's on you.
Thanks, bud.
Last question for Brad will come from Dan Roach.
Hey, Brad, you were talking earlier about being at home. It's kind of strange, or it's maybe like being in a lot of different rinks. You guys are so strong mentally. You talked about momentum shift with the fans. How much do you and will you miss the fans, especially in a place like the Garden where it's just been so fun to have that electricity night after night?
It is. It's a lot of fun. You know, obviously we're very fortunate to do what we do and to play the game, but you know, part of that is you get to sit in front of and play in front of 20,000 people every night, and you know, enjoy that momentum and experience. And I know that was one of the things that I thought was incredible. The first time I played an exhibition game was, you go out there and there's thousands of people kind of in the mix and watching you and cheering for you. And it's going to be exciting to get it back. I mean, we're going to get it back at some point. And, you know, it's unfortunate that, you know, right now it can't be normal and we can't have them in the crowd, but it does change the game a bit, you know, when there's a big goal, when there is momentum. I don't think there's going to be as many comeback wins as maybe what's been in the past because of that, those momentum shifts. But I mean, you know, guys are mentally strong, like you said, and they have that competitive edge within them. And when you get the roll on the ice, you feel it and you start to go as a group. So, you know, when you get out there, I think that's the biggest thing is when you're in the middle of play, you don't know the fans or you don't notice the fans. It's more during the timeouts and the whistles. And that's, you know, after a big goal, that's when you really notice it and miss it. But, you know, we're fortunate to be playing, so we're not going to complain. We're going to go out there and play regardless. And, you know, it'll be great when they get back.